Good morning, students. Welcome back again. We were discussing chapter number 2, right? We have almost discussed all the concepts of chapter number 2, right? There was one more concept that was remaining, that is on page number 16, the last concept of the chapter. Because of the time, we are not able to finish the last concept. So we'll finish the last concept of chapter number 2 and then we'll begin with a new chapter, that is chapter number 8. Right? Why we are continuing with SS? Because there are a lot of chapters which are very lengthy and that is still a part of the syllabus. Right? 8, chapter number 9, chapter number 10, still many chapters to go. Right? And they are quite lengthy. So we'll continue with SS only. So take out your textbook, that is on page number 16, the last concept of chapter number 2. Other dances of Gujarat. Other dances of Gujarat. Right? We have seen the previous concept, that is dramatic art. One concept was there that is named as Bhavai. Then the new concept that we did was folk dance of Gujarat, that includes tribal dance, Garba and Rasa. Right? There is one more concept, that is other dance of Gujarat. There are some other dances as well in Gujarat which are very famous, which represents an heritageal concept of our country. So which are they? First, Gof Guthran dance, right? The term is little bit weird, but it is a part of Gujarat. That's the naam nahi samjheng hue, but it is a dance which has been famous in Gujarat. So let's learn what it is. It is performed on the drum beats and tal and laya of music, typing rope with mandapa pillar, tree, and holding the other end of the hand. They perform dance in group holding the rope in one hand and then dandiya in the other, right? They make cripple-like formation going one side, one inside and the other coming outside, right? एक अंदर जाए અને એક બહાર આવે, right? એવું આખું એનું formation હોય અને એ રીતે એ dance perform થાય, right? This is repeatedly done forming a circle. This way they make and open the Guthan plate, and this style of dance is called Gof Guthan dance. This style of dance is known as Gof Guthan dance. આપણે ગરબામાં કેવા અલગ-અલગ steps હોય, right? અને અલગ-અલગ formations હોય. એવી જ રીતે આ પણ એક dance છે, which is known as Gof Guthan dance, where there is a circle where one goes inside, the other goes automatically outside. When the inside person comes outside, the outside person goes inside, and it has been performed in the circle. It has been performed in the circle, and this type of dance is known as Gof Guthan dance. Right? So this can be asked in a definition, so you have to remember it. Right? I'm not making you underline everything, right? But you have to remember what kind of dance it is. Right? Point number 2. Dhamal dance of Siddhis. Siddhis, presently residing in Jambur village in the center of Gir. Underline that statement, right? It can be asked and fill in the blanks. Siddhis, presently residing in Jambur village in the center of Girnar, right? Originally belongs to Africa. Originally belongs to Africa. I have told you many times that there are many people who have settled over here from different countries, right? હજી પણ એ લોકોની જે વંશવાળી છે અથવા જે એમની next generations છે, that still exist in our country, and this is one of them. This is one of them, right? In Jambur village in the center of Gir, that is Girnar, originally belongs to South Africa. That means their forefathers belongs to South Africa. ક્યારે એવો વિચાર કર્યો કે ગુજરાતની અંદર ગીરની અંદર એક એવી પર્ટિક્યુલર પોપ્યુલેશન છે જેમના forefathers આફ્રિકાથી belong કરે, and they still exist over there. They are few in numbers, but they are there. They are there. Even in Goa, there are still some Portuguese people. જેમની next generations છે Portuguese ની, એ હજુ પણ ત્યાં છે. Right? So this is what our country is famous for. This is what our country is famous for. Right? This is some general knowledge that will help you in your further exams, right? આગળ જશો ને તમે કોઈ ગવર્મેન્ટ પ્રિપેરેશન્સ કરશો તો આ બધું જનરલ નોલેજનો પાર્ટ છે, રાઈટ? આ બધી વસ્તુ તમારે યાદ રાખવાની છે, because it represents our nation as well as it represents our state, that is Gujarat. They belong to Africa, performs this dance. They perform dance by rhythmically striking mashira, that is coconut shell containing earthen lamp inside. Coconut no shell hoy, એની અંદર એક earthen lamp hoy, right? Inside. Covered with a cloth, wearing peacock feathers and holding small drums in the hands forming circle. They dance with high and low pitch intonation of ho ho sound, right? When they dance, they create a kind of a sound. that is ho ho, which echoes in the whole forest, right? They dance in a group imitating the voice of animals and birds, right? They live in the forest, they live in Gir, that is in Girnar. Girnar is a place which is covered with forest, right? This kind of people have dhamal dance, and they make the sound ho ho, right? And make the noise of different animals and birds, right? It is a place in Gujarat. Which place? Girnar, right? And the name of the dance is dhamal dance of Siddhis. Moving ahead, the third concept, that is the last. Merio dance, Padar dance, and Kali and Mer dance, right? This type of dance is seen near the stepwell of Banaskantha region. Banaskantha, again it is a place in Gujarat, right? જ્યાં છે ને આદિવાસી લોકો વધારે રહે છે, this type of people, right? So they perform this kind of dance. Toran is woven with the tall grass of reed and junjadi. This dance is performed on the drum beats and sword tricks. This type of dance is called Merio dance. This type of dance is known as Merio dance, right? That is in Banaskantha region. Second, an important concept, right? In Surendranagar region, the people of Padhar community, I don't know what actually this community is, but it is there in Surendranagar, right? In Surendranagar region, the people of Padhar community dance with tal and laya of dandiya and manjira. While dancing, they generate scenes like sea waves or like a ship moving on the sea waves, right? Kolis of Saurashtra, Kolis of Saurashtra, right? Performed Koli dance holding madirasu, which is a colorful cloth for tying on head, and headgear turban, right? Pagdi, turban એટલે pagdi, right? Decorated with embroidery and mirrors, tied with green colored embroidered belt. They wear phet, that is the dressing sense, name is phet, on their waist to perform the dance. Similarly, Mer dance of Saurashtra and other dance of Bharwad tribe are also well known, right? Bharwad લોકો જ્યારે dance કરે, right? The community, Bharwad community, right? એમનો પણ એક particular step છે, એમની પણ એક particular formation છે dancing. તેમનો dressing sense, right? And their steps, which is also very famous in Saurashtra, right? As we discussed in the previous chapter, here also we find that Indian culture is universal, assimilating all, assimilating means including all the cultures, right? Our concept આપણે એવું learn કર્યું કે that fine arts of India, art, right? Then the second concept, that was skill. The third concept, that was dance, right? Different forms of dance. Then it came to Gujarat, then different forms of dance which is related to Gujarat and other dances of Gujarat, right? All these things are the part of heritage, right? Which are important for us to preserve. ખાલી જગ્યા, વસ્તુ, તાજમહેલ કે લાલ દરવાજા કે કોઈ સિદ્ધિ સૈયદની જાલી કે કોઈ ટેમ્પલ કે એવું નહીં. Culture, dance, art, skill, all these things are even important also. Poets, right? આપણે જોઈ ગયા poets એ ઘણી બધી વસ્તુ communication through poems, right? Drama and all that things we have seen in this chapter. Everything is a part of the culture. Because it is made by humans. And I'm very much assured now that you are clear with the definition of culture, right? Chapter number 1 માં ઘણા બધા concepts આપેલા છે culture ના, ઘણા બધા terms, ઘણી બધી definitions આપેલી છે, right? So I hope you are clear with all these concepts, right? So we have to preserve all these things because it includes each and every heritage in different states with different people and with different culture, right? As a result of the arrival of various tribes since ancient times to contemporary one, many changes occurred like growth and development of handicrafts, home artistry, painting, dancing and various other fine arts. This shows a rich and varied heritage of India, and it leaves permanent impression of India on the horizontal world, right? We are being judged at the international level by our culture. We are being judged by different communities at the international level, right? that India, even though with different people in different states, is standing as one nation with a rich, varied cultural as well as the heritageal things which still exist even today. So this is all about your chapter number 2. Chapter number 2. I hope the concept of chapter number 2 is clear. If you have any questions, any doubts, you can ask. 2 minutes, sir. Unmute karo khali. પછી chapter 8 start karo. 9. We'll begin with chapter number 8. That is natural resources. Now we are clear with this concept. Resources, right? ઘણી બધી વાર આપણે resources નો term સાંભળ્યો છે, ઘણી બધી વાર મેં તમને સમજાવ્યું છે what resources is. But in this chapter we are going to learn the resources which are natural. Natural means free, given by nature. Right? What it is? Let's begin. Human needs can be satisfied partially or completely through resources. There are thousands of elements in the nature, but we cannot call all of them resources. This element can be called resources only when they are being utilized by man through his special knowledge and expertise. In other words, the things on which the man is dependent, human needs, can be fulfilled by them, and man has the physical and intellectual capacity to utilize them, can be called as resources. હવે જો તમને એક સિમ્પલ કોન્સેપ્ટમાં રિસોર્સિસ સમજાવી દઉં. રિસોર્સિસ એક એવી વસ્તુ છે જે માણસને એના સ્કિલ્સ એન્ડ એક્સપર્ટાઇઝ નોલેજથી યુઝ કરતા આવડવું. નેચર એ વસ્તુ તો આપે છે, બટ વી શુડ નો હાઉ ટુ યુટિલાઇઝ ઇટ. Then only we can make the maximum use of resources. For example, હું તમને એમ કહું water is a natural resource, right? હવે એ પાણી જે છે એક સ્ટેડી લેવલે એક જગ્યાએ હશે. પાણી આપણા મોઢામાં નહીં આવી જાય કે આપણે પી લેશું ને આપણી તરસ છીપાઈ જશે. We have to make use of it in a proper way so that we can drink the water and satisfy our thirst. For an example, the second concept, if we are constructing a building, તો એ બિલ્ડિંગને સ્ટ્રોંગ કરવા માટે વોટર જોશે. તો એ રિવર કે એ પર્ટિક્યુલર વોટર એ ડાયરેક્ટલી એ બિલ્ડિંગમાં નહીં પહોંચી જાય. We have to create plants. We have to create big plants. વોટરના જે મોટા પ્લાન્ટ્સ હોય એ ક્રિએટ કરવા પડે અને વોટરને એ જગ્યાએ પહોંચાડવું પડે. So that the construction may be good or strong enough. Right? હવે આ જે કોન્સેપ્ટ છે જે એક જગ્યાએથી એ રિસોર્સિસને લઈને બીજી જગ્યાએ પહોંચાડે છે. Right? That is known as the resources through which a man utilizes his skills and efficiency and uses the natural resources. That can be called as resources. Right? Nature ઘણી બધી વસ્તુ રિસોર્સિસના ફોર્મમાં આપણને આપે છે. Right? But we have to use our knowledge, we have to use our skill so that these resources can be used at the extreme level and the humanity can get all the benefits. For example, if there is oxygen over there in the atmosphere, but મને શ્વાસ લેતા નથી આવડતું તો can I make the use of oxygen? No, I have to, use my skills. How will I take the oxygen? By taking a deep breath. So nature is giving me the oxygen, but if I don't know, I cannot survive. Nature is giving me water, but I don't know how to drink it, I don't know how to make the maximum use of it, then I cannot make the use of water. There are n number of natural resources which are there in our nation. But if we want to use that resources, if we want to satisfy the needs, we have to make the use of that resources very skillfully through our knowledge and skills, so that the humanity gets the benefit. And this concept is known as resources. I hope the concept is clear now. Let's move ahead. When these are utilized by man, I'm repeating the line again. When these are utilized by man through his special knowledge and expertise, right? આપણું knowledge and expertise skills આપણે જ્યારે use કરીએ છીએ. In other words, the things on which the man is dependent, human needs can be fulfilled by them, and the man has the physical and intellectual capacity to utilize them. That can be called as resources. In this way, anything which is used to fulfill the human needs becomes a resource. In ancient time, Man did not know about the minerals. Man did not know about the minerals. આપણી પાસે એટલા બધા minerals છે ઇન્ડિયાની અંદર, right? Inside the earth crust, right? જમીનની અંદર એટલા બધા minerals છે, but ancient times ની અંદર, in the previous years, we didn't know what kind of minerals do we have inside the earth, right? Man didn't know about the minerals buried within the land. So these were not the resources at that time. But today these are extremely useful due to their utility and developed techniques of mining. Mining એટલે deep inside the earth, right? બધું સંશોધન કરે, બધું ગોતે, જમીનની અંદર કઈ કઈ resources છે, ક્યાં શું છે, and we take out that resources, and that resources are being used very skillfully, so humans are getting the benefits. One example that I'll share with you is coal. કોલસો હે ને જમીનની અંદર એ ડાયરેક્ટલી બહાર ન આવી જાય, બટ આપણે આપણા સ્કિલ્સ અને આપણી ટેકનોલોજીનો યુઝ કરીએ છીએ અત્યારના જનરેશનની અંદર, and we dig inside the earth, we find that here is the area where there is maximum coal. We take out that coal, we make a good process, and that coal is being used in the trains so that the machines can run and a train ચાલે. અત્યારે તો ઇલેક્ટ્રિક ટ્રેન્સ આવી ગઈ, the concept is changing now, but વર્ષો સુધી, right, કોલસાથી ટ્રેન ચાલતી, હજી ઘણી બધી ટ્રેન્સ કોલ્સથી ચાલે, right? So coal plays an important role. That is a natural resource which is inside the earth. એમને બહાર આવી જાય? No. That resource we have to use our skills, our expertise, knowledge with the technology. We have to take it out from the earth crust. We have to make a good process. We have to make a good processed coal, and that coal is used in multiple projects in different sectors. That is what is known as the natural resource or the use of natural resource. એક એક્ઝામ્પલ તમારી જોડે છે, આવી ઘણી બધી રિસોર્સિસ છે જે આ ચેપ્ટરની અંદર છે, that we are going to know about that types of resources, right? The natural resources should have both the virtues of utility and capability to work. The resources are made of the interactions of three: nature, man and culture. પહેલા નેચર પૂરું પાડે, માણસ ગોતે, અને એ એક કલ્ચર, એક હેબિટ થઈ જાય એ રિસોર્સિસનો યુઝ કરવાનો. કલ્ચર આપણે કોન્સેપ્ટ ક્લિયર છે, વોટ કલ્ચર ઇઝ, રાઈટ? વોટ અ મેન થિંક્સ, દેટ ઇઝ ઓલ્સો એ કલ્ચર, રાઈટ? તો એ જે રિસોર્સિસ આપણને મળે છે, માણસ જે વિચારે છે એના સ્કિલ્સથી, અને એ રિસોર્સિસને ડેવલપ કરે છે, that is also a part of a culture, right? Next, use of resources. Resources are useful to us in many ways. We learn about its role gradually at every stage of human life. All the activities from agriculture to industries ultimately depend on natural resources. Each and every activity, directly or indirectly, depends upon the natural resources. Let us know more about it. First, resources as food. Right? Various food requirements of man are compiled by various resources. Fruits grow naturally. Various crops are obtained through agriculture. Milk and its product. Meat obtained through domestic animals. Fish and other aquatic animals from their reservoirs. Honey prepared from honeybees, etc. are used as food items. આ જેટલા કોન્સેપ્ટ છે, જેટલા ટર્મ્સ છે આપેલા છે, that is known as resources as food. Right? That is available from nature. Agricultural concept, right? Farmer શું કરે? વાવી દે, એની જાતે મોટું થાય, right? કોઈ બી ક્રોપ હોય એની જાતે ડેવલપ થાય. What is that? That is a resource. The human have used that resource. એમને ખબર પડી કે આ જગ્યા બહુ સારી છે, અહીંયા હું કંઈ પણ એગ્રીકલ્ચરલ પ્રોડક્ટ અથવા કોઈ પણ વસ્તુ કે કોઈ પણ પર્ટિક્યુલર wheat, flour or any rice or anything, whatever I make it over here, it will grow and give me the benefits. Fruits એની જાતે ડેવલપ થાય છે ટ્રીઝમાં, અને પાકી જાય એટલે નીચે પડી જાય. નેચરલ રિસોર્સિસ. હવે એ ફ્રૂટ્સ જે નીચે પડી ગયા, રાઈટ, હવે એનો જો યુઝ ના થયો તો એ પડ્યા પડ્યા સડી જશે. Then are we making the use of resources properly? Right? એ જે ફ્રૂટ્સ છે જે પાકી જાય એ નીચે પડે છે, we have to take them and we have to sell it in the market. That is the use of resource. When nature is giving you something, you have to understand it, you have to make the use of it in a proper way or in the maximum way, whatever it is. આ તો પહેલો કોન્સેપ્ટ છે, that is resources as food. ઘણા બધા એવા કોન્સેપ્ટ્સ છે આ ચેપ્ટરની, right? So we have to make use of this kind of resources very skillfully to get the maximum benefits, so that human needs are being satisfied. Human needs are being satisfied, right? That is resources as food. Let's move to the other concept. Resources as a source of raw material. Various goods obtained from forest, agro products, wool, hides and meat which is available from animals, mineral ores, different type na minerals જમીનની નીચે હોય એ, etc. from the raw material from many industries. Raw material, wool, કપડા પહેરે છે કોટન ના, એમને બની જાય ના, એક પ્રોસેસ થાય છે from raw material to finished goods. That is also a gift of a particular nature through wool or through different minerals. આપણને એ વસ્તુ પ્રોસેસ કરતા આવડવી જોઈએ. આટલું બધું કોટન છે, રાઈટ? તો એ કોટનનો હું કેવી રીતે યુઝ કરું so that the cloth is being made, so that human needs can satisfy themselves by wearing clothes. It is a need, right? Clothes એક need છે. તો ડાયરેક્ટલી કોઈ ક્લોથ્સ નથી આવી જતા, વૂલ માંથી બને છે. So that's a raw material. હવે એ વૂલ મારી પાસે હોય મને એનો યુઝ કરતા ના આવડતો, I can never satisfy my need. એટલે જ ફર્સ્ટ પેરેગ્રાફમાં ડેફિનેશનમાં અથવા કોન્સેપ્ટમાં સમજાવ્યું છે, a man has to use his skills, intellectual skills, through which a process which is available from nature, right, is being converted from raw materials to finished goods, so that the particular needs of the humans can be satisfied. That is the use of resources, right? એ જ વસ્તુ અહીંયા કીધી છે. ઘણી બધી વસ્તુ એવી છે, that is a source of raw material. We have to convert into finished goods so that the human needs are satisfied, right? Moving ahead, resources as energy resources. Pelu, resources as food. Second, resources as a source of raw material which we convert from raw materials to finished goods. And third one, that is resources as energy resources. We use coal. मैं તમને હમણાં જ example આપ્યો, right? Coal. We use coal, petroleum, natural gas, etc. as fuel in industries as well as domestic fuels. Besides, energy can be generated through solar insolation, wind, sea waves, tides and ebbs and waterfalls, etc. Electricity generates, right? Waterfall હોય, यहाँ પેલા મોટા પમ્પ્સ મૂકી દે, સ્ટેશન્સ, પમ્પિંગ સ્ટેશન મૂકી દે, મોટર્સ મૂકી દે અને વોટરફોલ થતો એમાંથી ઇલેક્ટ્રિસિટી જનરેટ કરે. તો એ જે સ્કિલ આપણે જોયો ને કે ભાઈ વોટરફોલ થાય છે તો આમાંથી પણ ઇલેક્ટ્રિસિટી જનરેટ થાય. That is the use of resource, and that electricity is provided in many villages so that they may get their basic needs, that is electricity, one of their basic needs, right? પાણીનો બગાડ નથી થતો, પાણી તો વોટરફોલ તો થયા જ કરે, બટ એમાંથી એક રિસોર્સ ઊભી ગઈ કે ભાઈ આવું વોટરફોલ થાય છે તો હું એક બેનિફિટ ગોતું. શું? તો કે ઇલેક્ટ્રિસિટી ઉત્પન્ન થાય. We can produce electricity, and that electricity can be used in different villages so that human needs are satisfied. In short, it is all about those resources which satisfied the human needs. માણસ શું કામ resources ને find કરે? Human needs ને satisfy કરવા માટે, right? Gold, again one concept. Directly gold આવે ના, નદીમાં વહેતું હોય, right? ના ઝીણા કણ હોય, and we have to find it, we have to take all that small pieces, right? અને પછી એમાંથી design થાય, process થાય, and then different sets or chains or rings or anything like that are being made. That is also a gift of nature. That is also a gift of nature. But it ગોતતા આવડવું જોઈએ. We can or we should be able to find that thing. Directly કોઈ વસ્તુ નથી બની જતી. Whatever it is, right? We have to make a process. Nature આપણને આપે છે, પણ એ પ્રોસેસ કરવું, એને વ્યવસ્થિત ફોર્મ કરવું અને એનો યુઝ કરવો. By transaction of money, by transaction of doing business or by satisfying needs, right? That is what is known as resources, right? એવી વસ્તુ થાય that you have a gold pot in your hand and still you are begging, right? હાથમાં એક તમારી પાસે pot છે which is made up of gold and you don't know, and and still you are begging કે ભાઈ મારી પાસે કંઈ નથી. But you don't realize that you have the pot in your hand which is made up of gold. We should know all these things. We should use all these things because nature is giving us free. Nature ક્યારે કોઈ વસ્તુનો ચાર્જ કરતું નથી, right? But આપણને એનો maximum use કરતા આવડવું જોઈએ. That is known as natural resources, which satisfy the basic needs of whatever the product is, whether it is food, whether it is raw material, or whether it is energy resources, right? Moving ahead, types of resources. Resources are classified as follows: on the basis of ownership, second, on the basis of re-availability, and third, on the basis of distribution centers. Following are the types of resources on the basis of ownership. Let's understand this through the table. एक chart at the table आते हैं. Ownership, individual resource, details, owned by an individual or a family. Example, land, building, etc. मारी जमीन, मारी जगह, मारी building, that is known as individual ownership, right? टूंकમાં family related હોય, joint family नहीं, individual family, right? And specify करेलू છે individual resource, right? Second concept, national resource, owned by a country or a region. જગ્યા આપણે કેમ ટેરિટરી જગ્યા નક્કી કરીએ, આટલું અમારું ના બીજા દેશનું, that kind of thing, right? So that is owned by a country or a region. Example, army or international trade. Borders, international trade, where exchange of goods and services being done from one country to the other country, right? Who defines an international trade? The border defines the international trade, which defines the nation. Which defines the nation. કે ભાઈ આટલું જે ટેરિટરી છે that belongs to India, this territory belongs to Pakistan, this territory belongs to Bangladesh, this territory belongs to China, and all that kind of things. And when goods are being interchanged from one to the other country, that is known as international trade. So that is known as national resources, right? Third concept, that is global resources. Global એટલે આખા world level. All physical or non-physical resources which are used for human welfare. જેટલી ટાઈપની રિસોર્સિસ છે ફિઝિકલ મીન્સ કેન બી ટચ્ડ એન્ડ ફીલ, એન્ડ નોન ફિઝિકલ જે વસ્તુ ખાલી ટચ ન થઈ શકે, ફીલ થઈ શકે, રાઈટ? ધેટ કાઇન્ડ ઓફ રિસોર્સિસ ફોર ધ બેનિફિટ્સ ઓફ હ્યુમન વેલફેર. અહીંયા હોય કે કોઈ બીજા દેશ. લુક એટ ધી એક્ઝામ્પલ, રિસોર્સિસ ઓફ કોમન ઓનરશિપ ઓફ ઓલ નેશન્સ ઓફ ધી વર્લ્ડ. કોઈ બી રિસોર્સિસ હોય જેમાં હ્યુમન એક્ટિવિટી અથવા હ્યુમન્સને ફાયદો થતો હોય, રાઈટ? ધેટ કાઇન્ડ ઓફ રિસોર્સિસ ઇઝ નોન એઝ ગ્લોબલ રિસોર્સિસ. For example, if you go to some other country, right, you may get all the benefits over there which you are getting in our country. That is known as global resources. કોઈ તમને ત્યાં નહીં કે તમારે પાણી નહીં પીવાનું, તમારે અહીંયા સ્ટે નહીં કરવાનું, you have to live in this country within few hours. Not like that. You are getting the rights to stay over there for certain point of time as per the rules and regulations of the international particular governments. Right? તો એ સમયની અંદર જેટલું તમે ત્યાં રહો છો, you are getting all the benefits because you are a human. Because you are a human, right? So you are getting the benefits. Yes. So this is known as the global resources. પછી અહીંયા હોય કે કોઈ બીજા કન્ટ્રીમાં હોય, કોઈ બીજા કન્ટ્રી વાળા અહીંયા હોતા, right? Because they are humans, they'll get the benefits. They get the benefits. Example, that is resources of common ownership. Resources of common ownership of all the nations of the world. કોઈ બી કન્ટ્રી હોય, કોઈ બી વર્લ્ડમાં પ્લેસ હોય, right? Resources are common everywhere and we can make use of it. We can make use of it. If you want to buy gold, તમે કોઈ બીજા કન્ટ્રીમાં જઈને ગોલ્ડ બાય કરવા જશો, તમને કોઈ ના નહીં પાડે. તમને કોઈ એવું નહીં કે ભાઈ તમે અહીંયા ઇન્ડિયાના છો, તમે આ કન્ટ્રીમાંથી ગોલ્ડ બાય નહીં કરી શકો. હા, સર્ટન રિસ્ટ્રિક્શન્સ હશે, આનાથી વધારે નહીં, આનાથી ઓછું ને ઓલ ધેટ કાઇન્ડ ઓફ થિંગ્સ, બટ યુ વિલ બી અલાઉડ ટુ બાય એવરીથિંગ, રાઈટ? Because it is related to human activities, right? So that is known as the global resources. So three types. First one, that is individual. Second one, that is national. And third one, that is global, right? Let's move ahead. Next. Again, resources can be classified as follows on the basis of their distribution, right? According to the area. Second, any details આપેલા અને એના examples આપેલા. First, universal resource. What is a universal resource? Useful gases in the atmosphere. Oxygen, right? Nitrogen. All these are universal. તમે અહીંયા હોય કે કોઈ બીજા કન્ટ્રીમાં, these are some universal resources. You will get oxygen and you will get nitrogen, right? Second concept, generally available resources. So details, that is easy availability or easy available resources. So which are kind of resources which are easily available everywhere? Land, obviously yes. Soil, again water and pasture land, right? જ્યાં કંઈક તમે ડેવલપ કરી શકો, right? આ બધી વસ્તુ તમને કોઈ બી કન્ટ્રીમાં કોઈ બી વર્લ્ડની અંદર ઇઝીલી મળી જશે. Third, rare resources, those available at limited places. Minerals like coal, petroleum, copper, gold, uranium, etc. આ બધી એવી resources છે જે બધી જગ્યાએ નથી હોતી, right? Find કરવું પડે છે. And we don't know whether this kind of resources are being there in our country, yes or no. But that leads lot of research work. And after lot of research work, we can conclude whether these resources are there in India or in some other country, yes or no. So these are known as rare resources. These are known as rare resources, right? Point number 4, solitary resources. What is a solitary resource? Minerals available in only one or two places in the world. कोई एवा धातु अथवा कोई एवा minerals જે આખા વર્લ્ડમાં એક કે બે જગ્યાએ મળે. ફોર એક્ઝામ્પલ, કાયરોલાઇટ which is available only in Greenland. What is કાયરોલાઇટ? I'll find it out and let you know, right? I don't know the perfect meaning, but મને ટાઈમ મળશે એટલે હું તમને એનો સ્પેસિફિક મીનિંગ કહીશ. એક સાયન્સ ટર્મ છે, but I'll find out the proper meaning and then I'll let you know what it is, right? Kairolite, which is available only in Greenland. Greenland યુરોપની એક જગ્યા છે, right? Greenland, which belongs to the Irish people, right? તો એ જગ્યાએ જ ખાલી આ કોન્સેપ્ટ અથવા આ એક મિનરલ મળે છે. That is known as kairolite. That is known as kairolite, right? So that is known as solitary resources. That is known as solitary resources. કોઈ એવી ટાઈપનો રિસોર્સ જ્યાં એ વસ્તુ આખી દુનિયામાં બહુ રેર છે અને એ એક જગ્યાએ અથવા મેક્સિમમ બે જગ્યાએ મળે છે. That kind of resources are known as solitary resources, right? So these are again some few examples that is classified as on the basis of their distribution. First, universal. Second, generally available resources. Third, rare resources. And fourth, solitary resources, right? Moving ahead, you could understand details of two types. Resources can be classified by other method also, right? બીજી રીતે પણ methods અથવા છે calculation ways છે જેને તમે resources ને classify કરી શકો છો. Wherein this can be classified into two types as renewable and non-renewable. Again, resources has been divided into two concepts, renewable and non-renewable resources. Some resources reproduce themselves. કેટલીક resources એવી છે જે પોતાને reproduce કરે, right? As per their usage during a specific time. In other words, these are inexhaustible. These are inexhaustible. એ ઉત્પન્ન થયા જ કરે, right? That kind of resources, they are inexhaustible. Solar insolation, wind, right? પવન ક્યારે બંધ થાય છે? નથી થતો, right? That kind of resources. Birds, animals, bioresources, etc. fall under this category. આ બધી એવી resources છે which keeps on coming continuously. We cannot stop all these things, right? These are called as renewable resources. These are called as renewable resources, right? Non-renewable resources are those which cannot be reused once they are being used. Non-renewable resources are every resources which cannot be reused, once they are used, or they cannot reproduce, or cannot be formed in the near future. વાર લાગે, કદાચ થાય તો પણ ઘણો સમય જતો. આવી resources ને non-renewable અથવા non-renewable resources કહેવાય, which cannot be reused once they are being used. Mineral, coal, natural gas, petroleum, etc. are included in this category. Once you fill petrol in your scooter, right, and once it gets empty, automatic fill થઈ જાય. We have to go to the petrol station, that is the petrol pump, and we have to fill it again, right? We have to pay for the second time. Then only it can be filled, right? But આ બધી resources એવી છે જે generally કહેવાય ને are under the category of non-renewable resources. એક limited source છે. તમારા સ્કૂટરમાં જેટલું પણ ક્વોન્ટિટી હોય એટલું જ પેટ્રોલ તમે ફિલ કરી શકશો, એનાથી વધારે ને એનાથી ઓછું નહીં. પછી ખાલી થશે, then only you can fill it for the second time. Till then you have to wait, right? So that is what it is known as non-renewable resources, which cannot be reused once they are used. એકવાર પેટ્રોલ ખાલી થઈ જાય પછી એનો રીયુઝ થતો નથી, કારણ કે ધુમાડો થઈને હવામાં જતો રહે, right? It gets into the particular oxygen or in the atmosphere, right? It cannot be come back again into the form of petrol and it gets filled, right? એવું થતું નથી. We have to fill the tank for the second time and we have to again pay for the second time. Then only we can get the type of resources, and that types of resources are quite expensive. અત્યારે પેટ્રોલના પ્રાઇસ 79-80 રૂપીસ છે, maybe within 5 to 10 years it might even reach 100 also, because the number of users are constantly increasing, so the price are increasing. Because this kind of resources are very limited in nature, right? બહુ પ્રોસેસ થાય છે પેટ્રોલને ક્રિએટ કરવા માટે, right? તો પ્રોસેસનો ખર્ચો, એ ટ્રાન્સપોર્ટેશનનો ખર્ચો we have to pay, right? And we have to use it effectively, right? So that even the nature cannot get destroyed, right? So these resources are to be used extremely with proper use. Next, planning and conservation of resources. See, that is my point. Planning and conservation of resources. Plan કરવું બહુ જરૂરી છે અને જે resources છે એને conserve કરવી બહુ જરૂરી છે, right? Human needs are unlimited while the resources are limited. Human needs unlimited, resources કેવી છે? Limited છે, right? During last 100 years, usage of the resources has increased very much due to extraordinary development in science and technology, and due to population exploitation. Number of users are increasing. The same concept, population exploitation. Several implications will have to be experienced in the future if a serious thought is not given to this manner. So it is the duty of all of us to conserve the resources for the future generations. Resources should be conserved and should be used rationally. જેટલી જરૂરિયાત હોય એ પ્રમાણે જ રિસોર્સિસનો યુઝ થવો જોઈએ, વધારે નહીં અને ઓછો. તો જ નેક્સ્ટ જનરેશન માટે કંઈક વધશે, નહીંતર બહુ અઘરું થઈ જશે, right? This type of resources, that is petrol, natural gas, diesel, all these kind of things which would become very expensive and common man cannot buy this kind of things, right? The resources ને પ્લાન કરી, કન્ઝર્વ કરી અને એનો જે યુઝ છે એ પ્રમાણે યુઝ કરવાનો રહેશે, વધારે પણ નહીં અને ઓછો પણ, right? The word conservation is directly related to the scarcity of resources. If the resources are exploited at the current rate, where they are exploited haphazardly and irrationally, then it will be a dream to maintain the development and the current lifestyle. It includes things like rational usage, its conservation and reusage. When there is a danger of existence on the life of a tree or a human life, the arrangement made for it is known as conservation. જ્યારે એક એક્ઝિસ્ટ થવા માટે એક તૈયારી છે કે હવે આ રિસોર્સિસ નથી, right? That is the end of the life, whether it is human, whether it is tree or whether it is any product. અને જ્યારે માણસ એ લેવલે પહોંચી જાય ને પછી વિચારવા માંડે હવે મારે બચત કરવી પડશે, હવે મારે બચાવવું પડશે, હવે મારે પ્રિઝર્વ કરવું પડશે, that is known as conservation, or that is called as conservation. Now I have to do something, to save all these things. આપણે કેમ પોકેટ મની હોય પછી એમાંથી આપણે સેવ કરીએ, right? ઇમરજન્સીમાં કામ લાગે, that kind of a thing. રિસોર્સિસ પણ એવી જ છે. સો પ્રોપરલી યુઝ નહીં થાય, પ્રોપરલી રિઝર્વ નહીં થાય, કન્ઝર્વ નહીં થાય, રાઈટ? તો જ્યારે જરૂરી હશે ત્યારે તમારી પાસે હશે જ. જો કન્ઝર્વ કર્યું હશે, રિઝર્વ કર્યું હશે, then at the time of the extreme need you may get the benefit because you have saved certain things, right? This is what is known as or called as conservation. Right? There are some 4 plus 3 7 points that we'll discuss in the next lecture. We are stopping the video over here. If you have any questions or any doubts, right, you can ask.